Hi, my name is Kiruba Shankar. I'm the host of the Movers and Shakers podcast, a show where we have conversations with business leaders, CEOs, and celebrities. This is a show that I do in partnership with Hindu Business Line and BL on Campus. In this edition, we have an interesting global guest, Nami Zarringhalam. You may not recognize his name, but you'll definitely recognize the app that he founded, Truecaller. Rings a bell? Yup, this is the app that can magically figure out the name of any phone number around the world. This is the app that sounded the death knell for spammers. Recently, I got to host Huddle Kerala, one of the largest startup conventions in Asia, in Kerala, of course, and Nami was there as a keynote speaker. So I spent some time on the sidelines of the conference and we had this very interesting conversation. We talk about his entrepreneurial journey, how he scaled up, things about security and privacy, and it's a very, very interesting conversation. You should listen to it. Let's just jump straight into it. What is the genesis of how Truecaller even came about?
So it's interesting because me and Alan had this. Alan Mamedi, my co-founder, we had this problem ourselves. We were basically getting phone calls and text messages from friends and family around the world, and we were thinking to ourselves, how come we don't know who is this person texting or calling me? At least tell me which country the text or call is coming from. It's really confusing when you start to look at country codes like +91, +93, plus 961, etc. So what we wanted to do was to build a service which resembles what we can see with the directory services in Sweden, where if you go to one of the directory services in Sweden, you can actually look me up by name, and you can find my phone number. If I have a home phone number, you can find that. You can find my cell phone number, even my home address, as well as my birthday. And this is all public information in the public domain in a country like Sweden. And it creates trust, it creates transparency, and it creates dependency, where you would know that this person that you're speaking to today is not going to do something fraudulent, is not going to disappear from the face of earth tomorrow after I do business with you, and these kind of things. And that kind of builds trust in society, and that's what we wanted to achieve. So we started to build on Truecaller, to build a service that can handle these kind of problems, but on a global scale. We launched it on this forum called XDA Forums, a forum for developers at the time, for smartphone developers. And within a week we got 10,000 downloads, and we were very excited. We started to look for investments, and basically that's where things got started.
Interesting. And when you started off this, you started along with Alan Mamedi, your co-founder, but you've already been friends, right? So this Truecaller is not the first company that both of you co-founded.
Right. So we had actually founded two other companies before Truecaller. The first one was called Möbeljakt. It was basically a search engine for home interior. And the thought process here was that we had just finished university, our bachelor's degree, and during that, when we finished our degree, we moved out from our parents' places, and when we got our first apartments, you want to buy furniture, but you don't want everything to look as if it's coming straight from IKEA or the IKEA catalog. So we thought, why isn't there a service where you can, search for all these businesses online and their catalog and buy those things? Because many times they have a similar pricing as IKEA, or a different design but same price. So that's basically what we wanted to do, and that was the first business we built together. This was in 2006. And then, while we were working on Möbeljakt, in the evenings and weekends, while we had our regular jobs, Alan was working at this place where he had some bosses or managers who were not being, very kind, not being very kind to him, and so what we wanted, and every night he would come over to my apartment where we would be sitting coding for this Mavliak, and he would basically be pouring his heart out, telling me about all the crazy and horrible things that his managers did that day. And that's when we thought to ourselves, like, why isn't there a website where you can review your employer such that the next person who is going into this, going to take a job here, can review the employer just the same way the employer reviews your resume and calls your references, right? So I think that was the outset of it, and both of these problems were kind of problems that we felt, and therefore we built the service. And Truecaller is exactly the same case.